In this video, we're going to look at some pie charts questions for National 5 applications. None of these questions, however, in this video are going to involve drawing any pie charts. Simply using pie charts and being able to read pie charts based on the angles that are given. So a pie chart is just a visual representation of data based on sectors, sections of a circle. The bigger the angle, the bigger the corresponding value that sector has. A couple of interesting things that we need to make sure we remember about pie charts and for pie chart calculations. Obviously, for a pie chart, all of the angles are going to need to add up to 360 degrees because it's based on a circle. So all angles add to 360 degrees. And if we are wanting to calculate the value for a particular sector of the pie chart, what we do is we find the angle for it, we write that as a fraction out of 360, and we then multiply by the total. So to find a value for a particular sector, we take the angle for that sector, divide it by 360, and then multiply by the total. Sometimes we might have to do that without a calculator, so we'd have to simplify the fraction before multiplying, but those are the two basic facts that we need to make sure we know about pie charts. Let's take a look at two exam style questions. So this first question says that the pie chart shows the number of hours overtime that 72 employees of a supermarket worked during 1 month. So we've got some people that worked 15 plus hours, some people that worked 0 to 4 hours, some people that worked 5 to 9, and some people that worked 10 to 14, and we've got some angles in there. Part A says calculate how many employees worked 15 plus hours overtime. So for part A, we are wanting to find out the value of this sector here, so 15 plus hours. So to work out the value of that, we take the angle, which is 30 degrees for that one, divide it by 360, and multiply by the total. In this case, it's the total number of employees, which is 72. So we're multiplying that by 72. Now, just to demonstrate to you, if this was a non-calculator question, what we would have to do is simplify this fraction first before trying to do any kind of multiplication. So we're going to simplify this fraction first. I can divide both of them by 10, so I'll get 3 over 36, and then 3 over 36 simplifies down to a 12th. So we actually end up doing 1 over 12 times 72, and obviously to find a 12th of something, I'm just dividing by 12, and 72 divided by 12 is 6. So that means that 6 employees worked 15 plus hours overtime. Part B says calculate the probability that an employee chosen at random worked 9 or less hours overtime. So part B, we want to find out the probability. So probability would be the desired outcome, so that's employees that work 9 or less hours overtime over the total, which would be 72 because there were 72 employees. So let's take a look at employees that work 9 or less. So we're obviously interested in this one over here and this one over here. Now we already know that this one is 180 degrees and this one here is one we need to work out. So we need to add all the angles up and subtract from 360 to get this missing angle in here. So if I add all these up, that obviously is 90 degrees, that's the symbol for a right angle. It would be 90 plus 30 plus 180. 90 plus 30 plus 180 is 300. So that then means that that angle in there is 360 minus 300, which is 60. So that angle in there is 60 degrees. So the angle that we are interested in for 9 or less, the angle is 180 plus the 60 degrees, so it's 240 degrees that we are interested in. Okay, so it's telling us to calculate the probability that an employee chosen at random worked 9 or less hours overtime, so we need to work out what 240 degrees would be for that value. So it would be 240 over 360 times 72 employees. To do that in the calculator, so if this was a calculator example, I would just do the division and then multiply. Obviously, if it was non-calculator, you could simplify that down. That gives me 48 people. So then the probability, just bringing that up here, would be 48 out of 72. And if we simplified that down, that would give us, dividing all of them by 24 actually, that would give us 2 over 3 if we were to simplify that down fully. Now what you might actually notice is that the angle of 240 degrees out of 360, that is actually also the probability of an employee that worked 9 or less hours of overtime, because the angles relate directly to the value. So if we've got 240 degrees, that's relating to the 48, and the 360 is relating to the 72. So it's the exact same calculation we've done there. So really that was an extra step that you didn't have to do, but I think that that's most likely what people would have done for this type of question. But just in case you spotted, 240 over 360 would actually have been the probability as well. Okay, so let's look at the second question. Nicola has joined the gym. The pie chart shows the proportion of time that Nicola will spend on each type of workout exercise. So we've got warm-up, cardiovascular, resistance training and cool down, and we've got the different angles for those. She spent 1 hour and 45 minutes exercising in the gym. How long in minutes did she spend on resistance training? So resistance training is this slightly darker grey. Okay, so that's 144 degrees, and we're trying to work out the value of that if she spent 1 hour and 45 minutes in total. We want to give the answer in minutes, so this total we're going to want to write in minutes. So 1 hour 45 is obviously 60 minutes, plus 45 is 105 minutes. If it's 144 degrees, it's 144 out of the total of 360 times that total of 105 minutes, and 144 divided by 360 times 105 is 42. So she spent 42 minutes on that exercise. So for pie charts then, we just need to remember sometimes about our angle fact, that all the angles should add up to 360, and to work out the value of a sector, we take the angle for that sector, divide it out of 360 and times it by 105. Depending on whether it's calculator or non-calculator, you might have to simplify the fraction first before doing the calculation. For drawing pie charts, that's something slightly different, but that's something that may be covered in another video.